Welcome to another round one game. This will be the very first game that I have not cast live of the tournament. This one I grabbed a replay off Kotu.org. It looked interesting. It's a pretty long round one game. This is actually game 2 of these two players series. I haven't cast a full series at all. The closest I came was doing Barton versus Quentin, but even then I didn't do game 1. I did get to catch game 2 and game 3 live though, fortunately for me. So that was fun. But regardless, this is going to be a round 1 game. This one is CookiezNcreem versus Hon3ynuts. You know what? I'm going to check their seeds right now, and once I have that pulled up, I'll be able to give a little bit more context. So Hon3ynuts is the number 12 seed, and CookiezNcreem is the 21. So they're actually pretty balanced matchup, I would say. And we're going to see a Cubedwagen here from CookiezNcreem, and they also kind of mess up the base positions again. That's the second time I've seen that today. It's supposed to be like over here, it's supposed to be fixed. Oh well, it doesn't really matter that much. They're on the right sides. I think this one's actually better because you like retreat a little faster, but it doesn't, it's not like it makes a game-changing difference really. Riflemen engaging over here. And Stern Pioneers are going to probably take control of that building. He vaults back over the fence and makes his way up there. And the riflemen here are engaging this SWS half-track. And Hon3ynuts focusing mostly on building control, which is something we've seen him do in the past, continuing to do that, just trying to control the center, and he obviously doesn't want to get shut down by the Cubedwagen, and as long as he holds control of this, his M20 will be arriving quite soon. He's going to have 50 fuel very soon. And we'll probably be seeing a lieutenant from him. We don't have a commander selection yet. His options are airborne, infantry, and rifle company. Usually when you see rifle company, you already see it by this point. He's actually gone with a 3 rear echelon troop opening, and that's something that I used to advocate for quite a lot. I used to do that almost every single game. Now I think it's actually pretty bad, which makes me sad. I used to love this strat, but now it's just, I really think it's just terrible. But I don't know, maybe Hon3ynuts can pull it off in a way that I couldn't, and there you have it. He already took out that Cubedwagen. I didn't even get to see that engagement. I don't even know how that happened, but okay. He set up his battle group headquarters here in the center. Unfortunately, I couldn't catch that setting up in time to prevent it. Apparently he got a little bit of damage off on it though. His riflemen are going to get inside of this building, and he didn't dodge the grenade! Ooh, took a heavy hit there. Only 1 model lost. You could probably still retreat without taking too much manpower bleed. But he's not going to be able to do very much significant damage to these Volksgrenadiers with only 1 south-facing window. And the engagement here isn't going well either. His rear echelon troops getting forced to retreat, and these Stern Pioneers continue to engage the riflemen in this house. And the M20 is in production now. He's hitting the field here, making his way towards the south. So the reason, actually, that I don't feel that rear echelon troops are particularly good anymore as an opening is because volley fire has changed, I think, somehow. And I couldn't find patch notes on it. I don't know the specifics to be totally... What is happening here? How is this a window? What is going on? Okay.
Welcome to the death factory, boys. Stick with me and you might just make it.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what changed about volley fire, but it just doesn't seem nearly as reliable. I've had a lot of trouble this patch making it work in side engagements against lone squads, and as a result they seem a lot less effective at lone cappers, shutting down counter-harassment by lone infantry squads, so I have had a lot of trouble making them work. But oh well.
M20 armor upgrade complete. Enemy infantry, forward on.
So as far as map control, Hon3ynuts now retaking control of the south. Up here in the north, Volksgrenadiers are taking control of the fuel, and they do capture it before being forced to retreat by that M20, but they will be forced away, and rear echelon troops are making their way up to get it back under control.
Heavy truck, waiting for deployment.
And an ambulance has been produced. Uh-oh, Stern Pioneers have taken heavy damage trying to reinforce here by the battle group headquarters, but he's probably going to take quite a bit of damage from the M20 here. Raketenwerfer is making its way up to support. Probably wants to get inside of one of these buildings. Jaegers will take control of the church, and Raketenwerfer is going to not get inside the building, but continue moving over here to try and take a shot at the M20, but it's going to continue dancing and evading him, dealing light damage to the Jaegers inside. And the Stern Pioneers are actually being healed now. Raketenwerfer will make it inside of the church, and these infantry are going to continue circling around. And more Volksgrenadiers are on their way to push away those riflemen. Rear echelons trying to take control of the center probably need to be careful. They're going to get wiped by the Raketenwerfer with that little health remaining. SWS is making its way up towards the front. I don't know what it's doing, though. It needs to be very careful with an M20 right there. It could easily be destroyed. The Rifleman and Lieutenant continue to engage from the safety of this house or that capture point. Lieutenant's falling quite low and will be forced to retreat. The M20 is dealing heavy damage to that SWS on its rear armor, but it seems to be prioritizing manpower bleed on these infantry over destroying this truck completely. And if he does so, it would actually be a very significant blow to his opponent's tech. But it looks like he's just going to pull back completely. But he had a golden opportunity to destroy that there, which would have shut down his ability to make a tier 4 structure until like the 11-minute mark. And being free from oversold on him for that much time is a true gift. It's a shame he didn't capitalize on that, but I could see why he would want to pull back to safety away from that Raketenwerfer as well. Not wanting to lose that investment, since it is quite expensive actually as far as manpower, and he hasn't planted any mines that I'm aware of, so he needs to start getting those down at some point. It's not that urgent since tier 4 isn't even up yet, but he is going to need to do it when he gets the opportunity. Rifleman retreating here away from those Jaegers should be alright. Lieutenant also needs to reinforce. He's got an ambulance sitting here in the central village, which will allow him to do that, and he's actually going to delay his tanks quite significantly by purchasing himself this AA half-track, putting a pretty significant dent in his fuel. Considering the fact that he does hold most of the map, however, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Having controlled both fuel points for most of this game. Raketenwerfer just left the church for some reason, though, making it quite vulnerable to the M20. It looks like it could get wiped here, although these rear echelons aren't doing a whole lot better and probably should retreat. That Raketenwerfer's gonna die. I think. Maybe not. Oh, okay, he got it out so it could reinforce. And the Panzerschreck getting inside of the church will force the M20 away. And infiltration grenades are being thrown on those riflemen. They should be able to reposition back to the ambulance somewhat safely, though. CookiezNcreem has gone salvage, obviously, has Jaegers, giving him access to the infiltration grenades as well. It's going to make things a little bit more difficult for Hon3ynuts' infantry, especially since he has only 2 squads of riflemen. He has a lot of manpower tied up in rear echelon troops, although on this map, there's a pretty decent chance of being able to navigate the map unopposed, take territory on the flanks. He's even taken this. So the rear echelon troops are doing their job of really just capturing the map and repairing, and that's all they're really good for. But since his opponent has gone scavenge and will be able to pop Jaegers out anywhere he pleases, it's going to make those rear echelon troops a little bit more vulnerable to being engaged, even in random side locations of the map. Hon3ynuts continues to struggle to engage here in the center because Raketenwerfers and Panzerschrecks inside of buildings are making it very dangerous for his vehicles to get too close.
Our supply line just got cut off.
So he's looking for opportunities in other places. AA half-track will find these Stern Pioneers here in the north. Jaeger's doing pretty okay against this rifle squad. Every time they snipe someone, it's a pretty big chunk of health just disappears. These riflemen will probably be forced to retreat, although they do net vet 2 here. The other riflemen down here continuing to engage, bring the squad pretty low, but that squad's going to get wiped if he doesn't retreat it soon. I don't think he was quite expecting them to go down so quick, but the lucky snipes make them a pretty significant problem. The AA half-track continues to engage stuff over here. The Rakettenwerfer is still inside the church, though. And Hon3ynuts doesn't really have a way to destroy or get that Rakettenwerfer out of there for now. He has tech grenades. That's probably the best way he has of doing so. Or he could pick a commander and utilize some sort of commander feature to destroy the church. Oh no! Oh no!
Vehicle just got destroyed.
Oh wow! That was a lucky break for Hon3ynuts. It doesn't even have engine damage. He recovers that and gets it to safety, although he will have to keep the rear echelons that are inside of it. Oh no! Wow, apparently that's possible. Jaegers can just kill an AA half-track from the front. Alright.
Battalion just released a major for action.
I thought they would need to hit its rear at least, but apparently not. So it actually wasn't a lucky break for Hon3ynuts. In fact, the fact that they got abandoned cost him also his rear echelon troops. Actually worked out worse than if half-track had just been completely destroyed.
Our supply line just got cut off.
So that Rakettenwerfer in the church is a pretty serious problem for him. He's taken out his AA half-track before it could even really do anything.
A capture point is being overrun.
And now it's Vet 2, and the Rakettenwerfer is honestly not very good. The fact that it can garrison that church is one of the few saving graces it has, but once it has Vet, it actually is a perfectly good AT weapon, especially once it hits the Vet level that gives it the range increase, whichever one that is. I'm not even sure. I think that's 3? 4. Okay, so Vet 4. It's not every game you see a Vet 4 Rakettenwerfer, but when it does get there, it's pretty good. Lieutenant is trying to get inside of this building. He's going to take a lot of damage from those Sturm Pioneers, though. He's made it inside. Sturm Pioneers are falling low, though. It's going to be kind of a close engagement. Looks like the Sturm Pioneers are pulling ahead. Lieutenant, get out of the building! Wow, barely gets out in time. Will he get away? Nope. Second squad wipe. If you count the rear echelon troops, which I guess I do.
Crowds are taking one of our points.
Although they got wiped in a kind of roundabout fashion. Quentin, shut up. Shoe mine's going down here.
57mm AT gun now
putting a bit of a dent in his munitions. He's got one Panzerschreck, and his Panther's going to be late because he just fielded Luke's here, but he does have tier 4. He's invested quite heavily in Jaeger light infantry, so if he gets Obersoldaten, he's going to have a lot of his PopCap / manpower tied up in infantry, anti-infantry infantry. So
complete. Everyone here?
we're actually going to see bazookas upgraded on this rear echelon troop squad. They have one. Actually, is that a... Yes, that is an upgrade, okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Luke's falling dangerously low. Vehicle crew, bazooka also firing. He's going to get back inside the building. Bazooka will not fire. Wow, that building is so dangerously close to getting destroyed. That squad will get wiped if they don't get out. There it goes. The Jaegers crit them, I think.
Lost a unit.
Which is a shame. He kind of needed that bazooka. He's doing a good job of screening that Luke's away. Now that he's lost that, he's in a little bit of trouble. He has gone airborne, and he's going to field himself a Scott. I kind of like the Sherman better, but on this map I could definitely see the Scott being good, especially given this truck placement. Again, truck placement can be a very important factor in your decision whether to go Scott or Sherman. Sherman seems better just sort of generally overall, but I could definitely understand the Scott sometimes. The thing about the Scott is kind of need to just hope for lucky hits, and sometimes in games where you don't get those lucky hits, it can be frustrating. Whereas the Sherman, you're slightly more in control. The HE shells are pretty reliable, and you can crush with it. And crushing is super helpful for forcing retreats, and the thing is, the Sherman can actually chase retreating squads and wipe them on retreat, whereas the Scott basically has no way of doing that at all. The Scott is more for long-range bombardment and trying to bleed defensive positions.
Enemy infantry! Hit the dirt! Objective secure.
M8A1 is on the field.
Hit him with crossfire!
The capture point is being overrun.
Suppressive fire! Suppressive fire!
Another bazooka has been purchased on this rear echelon troop squad. LMG is reinforcing out of the ambulance, should be able to push away those Jaegers. Now Vet 2, so they have camouflage. The ambulance is actually falling quite low. It's going to need to reinforce that with the rear echelon troops there. No lucky hit yet from that Scott. Its first shot just narrowly misses. And that Jaeger squad will get away, but now that the Scott is here, he will be able to alleviate a lot of pressure that he's under right now, and he actually still has pretty decent map control. It's not good enough to seal the game for him by any means. It's actually quite a very good chance that the OKW are going to win this game if he doesn't start executing quite well on his opponent's retreat point. Now that he has a Scott, he should be enabled to do that. LMG is, of course, going to help him in that endeavor quite a bit as well.
Damn it! Someone get us out of here!
And that church is only going to last so long. He could try and run up with a demo charge from his paratroopers as well, if he just wanted to destroy the building. Because he could place one quite nicely between both the battle group headquarters and the church itself. Oh wait, what am I talking about? Actually, he can't even remotely get close because there's a tier 4 structure right there. Just kidding. Duke's on his flank. Applying a little bit of pressure to that M20, and he hasn't planted any M20 mines, I don't think. Anywhere? I don't see any. If he had, that Lukes would get one-shotted by them, so it's kind of a shame. But he does have a handful of bazookas with which to screen that light tank away. He's feeling a lot of pressure now, and his Scott is not performing. He really needs it to start landing his shots. There we go.
Enemy rifleman! Grenade! Grenade! Someone get us down here! Enemy infantry taken out!
Wiping that Sturm Pyro squad is definitely a big win for Hon3ynuts. Every time you can wipe your opponent's Sturm Pioneers, your odds of victory just drastically increase, because that is a huge manpower investment that he has to make. Throwing a couple grenades to get these infantry off his back, he should be able to maintain his forward position, reinforce and heal back to full. His opponent doesn't have to retreat all that far. Oh wait, maybe he does.
Infantry neutralized!
Never mind, yes he does. He has not purchased the forward retreat point, actually, so that's another manpower expenditure he may have to make in the future if he wants to hold this position.
Our supply line just got cut off.
So we'll see what happens. The M20 forces away some Jaeger infantry there in the south. That's another reason the M20 is actually very powerful to preserve. If you let it die, you lose a lot of counter-harassment potential. Having it alive at this stage of the game, even though it's not that great as an offensive unit, does allow it to maintain territory that you otherwise would have lost to your opponent's Jaegers. Makes it a very powerful unit in this particular matchup. Also, Luke's got a little brave there, going in with almost no health up against that bazooka. But I still don't see any M20 mines from Hon3ynuts, and if he doesn't plant any, then he's going to be in trouble when the Panther gets here, and it's just a matter of time. It's really just a matter of time. M20's taking a lot of damage from the Panzer Shrek. It will need to pull back to safety. Whoa. That squad just died. Wow. That's what he gets for staying inside that building against a Scott. They were at quite low health, actually, so definitely stayed in there too long. M20s are in, or M1919s are engaging these oversoldado infiltration grenades. Got tossed. It didn't do too much damage. That last one did, but you will be able to reinforce and heal that quite easily. And Sherman has HE shells equipped, making its way here to screen any threats away. In fact, if he had gone in on that Lukes, he probably could have killed it. Still has basically no health, and he wiped his opponent's Sturm Pioneers. You need to remember that anytime you wipe your opponent's Sturm Pioneers, they can't repair. So if there's a wounded Lukes on the field, this is gonna be at that health for a pretty long time, and it's at that time that you should try to capitalize on that. That being said, if he can get any squad wipes here on the front line while his opponent is weak, that's just as valuable. He's moving his M20 in a kind of awkward fashion, though. What is it doing? I honestly think that might have been one of the most poorly executed pushes I've ever seen 3 American vehicles try to make. He's like getting pushed away by one Panzerschreck because of his extraordinarily awkward maneuvering. But fortunately, there wasn't a proper defense here for that, whatever that was, and all of his vehicles will survive. And a Jagdpanzer is actually in production. CookiezNcreem not feeling comfortable waiting for a Panther because he has no territory at all. Neither of the fuel points, neither of the munitions points, he has nothing.
We're on the hook over here! Taking fire!
No! Oh! Hon3ynuts, why have you allowed this to come to pass? The Scott just got wiped out. For no reason. To nothing. Those Shreks just walked up and killed it. That is a shame. And the Lukes is going to retake control of the north, pushing away those rear echelon troops. Which still has not been repaired, by the way.
57mm AT gun now deployable by air.
Herr drops himself an AT gun to apply further pressure to these structures. The placement of this tier 4 means that it's pretty easy to get a line on it and to attack it from safety from behind these hedges, so that's actually a pretty bad placement. But the fact that it's so far back does mean that an AT gun may have to overextend itself to attack it. You can't attack it that safely, not even from over here, because you may have to cross past this house, exposing yourself to fire from all kinds of stuff. But we'll see if Hon3ynuts can punish that placement or not. There is a Jagdpanzer here, which is going to make this a very dangerous place for those Shermans.
Supply line just got cut off.
There they are! Cover the flank!
HE shells don't quite connect as well as they could. Sherman's probably going to go down here. Panzerschreck connects. And there it goes. Sherman's out of control. So the second Panzerschreck in the house got a little bit overextended. He is now aware of the Jagdpanzer, and since he knows that that's on the field, he's going to have to play very defensively. He's got a okay-ish amount of AT. He's got the one bazooka. He's got an AT gun. He can throw anti-tank rounds on, or AP shells on the Sherman if he wants to. And he does have also the bazooka inside the M20, but really he needs to throw down some M20 mines. If he had thrown some M20 mines in this general area earlier, his looks might have died by now. That Jagdpanzer might hit one. And it doesn't one-shot a Jagdpanzer, but it brings it very low, and obviously being immobilized is effectively dead, depending on what's available to support at the time. The AT gun is trying to fire on the Schwer Panzer headquarters, but there's so many shot blockers. Oh no, on the battle group headquarters, actually. There's still a lot of shot blockers. It's having trouble connecting, and he doesn't have a way to give vision except for the Vet2 M20. The Vet2 M20 has a huge vision radius, but it looks like rather than supply vision, he's just going to send that up towards the north to counter-harass this Jaeger squad, I think. That's what it looks like anyway. And the Jagdpanzer is going to continue to contend with the Sherman here in the center. The AT gun, however, is bringing this extremely low, and again, no Sturm Pioneers. He still hasn't purchased them. And it just goes to show how important they are and how expensive they are. He has no way to stop this from happening other than killing that AT gun, which is not easy with those LMGs protecting.
A capture point is being overrun.
AT gun will not hit that thing. It just can't hit it. I really think Hon3ynuts should have brought his M20 for vision. Vision is so important, or field some Pathfinders or something.
Points are down 100.
He's gonna get it though, I think.
All done over here.
Maybe. That is taking a painfully long time though. Hon3ynuts can't even actually see how much health that thing has, so he doesn't even know how close it is to death right now. If he did, he would probably fire at it with a little more urgency, but either way, he finished the job. His opponent still doesn't have Storm Pioneers. He was successful in taking out the battle group headquarters. The Jagdpanzer exposes itself to vetted riflemen, may take engine damage here. Nope, it bounces, but he can't really round this corner because of the tier 4 structure, which he should focus on trying to take out next. Unfortunately, his AT gun's nowhere near Vet 1. Getting a Vet 1 AT gun before you actually have already destroyed the structure can be pretty difficult to do. If your opponent gets a look, it's actually possible though. Uh-oh, ambulance is in a lot of danger. It's gonna go down unless the Shrek shot misses, which it did not. And that's going to shut down his forward reinforced point. The AT gun is firing on the tier 4 structure. It's bringing it quite low, in fact. Riflemen are engaging a single Ober. Oh no! Retreat! Oh no! He just lost that Ober squad for no reason. That is a painful loss. He utilizes the suppressing fire ability on those Volksgrenadiers, and they'll get suppressed and forced to retreat as well. Dukes is moving in to try to take out that AT gun before the HQ goes down, and it looks like it will succeed. Bazooka moving up to try to engage. 2 bazookas on this squad, in fact, moving up to try to engage. And Sherman support will actually fire at the Jagdpanzer instead. More bazookas over here get instantly pinned by the flak. The Sherman is moving up to try to finish the job. Fire! There it goes. And the Lux is destroyed. If the Sherman can get behind the smoke screen, it might survive, but it's going the wrong way. Oh no, and Scavenge Artillery. Wow! Wow, that Scavenge Artillery just killed both full bazooka squads just randomly. It was centered over here. That was horrible luck. Horrible luck for Hon3ynuts, losing both of those squads. Not leaving him with no way to take out that Jagdpanzer, which probably shouldn't be chasing an M20 into the fog, but I guess he doesn't think that there are any random M20 mines in this area, which there definitely should be. I cannot believe that he still hasn't planted a single one. His munitions looks kind of low. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but wherever they are, I don't know where they are.
Armor here.
I think that's a 3rd Sherman. Yeah, it's a 3rd Sherman. 3rd Sherman moving up to try to engage that Jagdpanzer from behind. It's at about half health, but that M20 is going to go down in the process, unfortunately. And the Sherman
just got destroyed.
actually switched targets. It's moving to engage the Schwerer Panzer headquarters instead. Somewhat inefficiently, thanks to turret rotations, taking a lot of damage from the structure as well. And he will lose this if he doesn't keep it moving. The Jagdpanzer could be anywhere. Finish the job. Alright, there it goes. So he does take out the tier 4 structure, almost loses the Sherman in the process, but it looks like it should be okay. But he needs to recrew this AT gun, and he needs to not lose this ambulance either. Oh no. Okay, Panzer Shrek targeted the wrong thing. Ambulance should get to safety. Sherman is not being repaired though, and the Jagdpanzer is hunting it. Oh no, what is he doing? Jagdpanzer is looking for it in the base. It's kind of on the wrong track. The AT gun, however, is nowhere, or not nowhere nearby, but not facing the right direction. Decent chance of it getting cleared as well. Utilizing suppressing fire on those Obersoldaten, but infiltration grenades are being thrown. He has to reposition before they get suppressed. Moves to re-engage, but he's in red cover. They're in green. Looks like he might win this engagement. It's so close. Okay, the Obersoldaten are going to retreat, and it looks like they will get away. Ambulance has taken a pretty heavy chunk of damage, but it should be repaired by the rear echelon troops soon. There's a bazooka on the ground that he could recover with them as well. He probably should. He needs to reinforce and repair a lot before his next engagement. And there's actually still no Sturm Pioneers, so every time he damages anything, it's permanent until he makes some Sturm Pioneers. If Oberkommando West are overpowered, Sturm Pioneers are a pretty significant part of that. Wow, that was horrible parrot drop. 3 of them just died, but okay.
Drop complete.
And without Stern Pioneers, Over Commando West kind of struggle a little bit.
Our supply line's
So he
cut.
should probably make
Germans are
some. He
making a
actually
push.
made Mechanized Regiment headquarters for repairs instead, interestingly enough. I think he's going for King Tiger next, but it's going to be a long time before that arrives, especially because he just fielded a flak half-track, which, while there's a Sherman on the field, is very dangerous to do if you don't have a really solid way to defend it, which I really don't feel like Cookies-N-Cream necessarily does. AG shells equipped to engage this Sherman. They actually have a bazooka, assuming they survive their retreat through that deep snow. Hon3ynuts is not really pursuing though, which he should have, because that was an easy wipe.
Our supply line just got cut off.
Jaegers here in the north are actually moving to hide,
Reinforcements in.
interestingly.
Welcome to the death factory.
Probably planning on using them to harass anything that tries to retake that strategic cutoff. Hon3ynuts' map control is definitely wavering. He used to have pretty much the entire map. That situation has since changed. That flak half-track definitely did not pay off. Probably isn't going to be getting himself a second one of those. Nice crush.
Got us a 30 promotion.
He actually switched to armor-piercing rounds for some reason. Maybe he was thinking that the Jagdpanzer showed itself. He's going to be able to get some damage off on that, but it's since been fully repaired. AT gun was nicely positioned. And the Sherman's making good use of the tight corners to keep itself alive. The Jagdpanzer is going to disengage since there is an AT gun in the area and vetted riflemen, so it can't afford to be too gutsy. And there is no forward defensive position since the forward tier 4 has been destroyed, so he needs to be very careful with this. The fact that it's Vet 2 makes it extraordinarily dangerous, though. Suppressing fire will suppress those overs before they can really do anything. This time the paratroopers had the cover advantage. Sherman being repaired here, and Hon3ynuts' map control looking strong again. Taking control of the munitions cutoff and the victory point, although Vet 5 squad of Volksgrenadiers here in the south is going to do what it can, and I was wrong. He did get himself another flak half-track. Against Sherman spam, I really don't think that's a good idea, but okay.
Out of the kill zone. Don't be standing there yelling. That's a Panzer Shrek! They know we're here now. There they are! Cover the flank! Round 9!
Vet 5 Volksgrenadier squad takes a lot of damage, but fortunately it gets away by a hair. Jagdpanzer moving
Got a Panzer
to
Shrek!
protect. Maybe a significant problem if it gets close enough to this ambulance. Could easily destroy that ambulance and Sherman if Hon3ynuts doesn't pay attention.
Taking effective fire!
Fires its first shot at the ambulance. Shot misses. Hon3ynuts is going to react. The ambulance is immediately destroyed. And scavenger artillery is being dropped on this major, but that's not gonna kill the major, I guess. There's not really that much here. Ooh, except for a retreating rifle squad. He redirects the retreat to the base. But not the major for whatever reason. Just standing there in an artillery barrage. He's not worried, he'll be fine. Oh, he almost was, not quite. The AT gun is fine, and a Sherman is moving to try to hunt that Jagdpanzer, but it's not working out very well. 2 Shermans can try to take on a Jagdpanzer, but once it's Vet 2, it's got a lot of armor, it's very fast, so it's hard to get behind it. Meanwhile, here in the north, the flak half-track is engaging some paratroopers, but it's going to disengage, and the paratroopers will retreat. And Hon3ynuts is forced to make yet another ambulance. I think he's lost 2.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Sherman's going in on that Vet 5 squad. I don't know if it's going to make it home. Hon3ynuts probably feeling hesitant about chasing, not knowing where that Jagdpanzer is. So he's going to disengage before getting in too deep. Besides, the squad is quite spread out and unlikely to get wiped without making
taking the field.
a commitment to a base rush, which would probably lose him at least one of those tanks.
Get suppressive fire on him!
Although this squad probably isn't going to make it home unless it gets extremely lucky, which it has. Both of those HE shells completely missed. Now they could get away. Nope. Nope, even then the deep snow. It's too much. Jaeger light infantry are kind of expensive, 300 manpower. You don't want to just throw those squads away, but the map harassment they afford you is worth a lot. I mean, just look at the victory points. They're totally even because of all of the map harassment that Hon3ynuts has to do. Now that he has Shermans with HE shells all over the field, pretty decent chance that he's going to start cleaning these up. There, okay, there goes that squad. But, before that point, you can definitely see. I mean, just look at the map. Look what color is flashing all over the place. Hon3ynuts having trouble keeping up, and losing his rear echelon troops is part of that. He might consider getting some late game rear echelon troops, but he has to spend a lot of manpower on reinforcement and bleed. The fact that he wiped one of those squads of Obersoldaten is definitely helpful, though. Jagdpanzer moves up to engage. Hon3ynuts has no choice but to disengage. He knows if he goes in deep on that thing, the Panzerschrecks that could be protecting it will easily take out this Sherman, but even just trying to disengage isn't working. He's probably going to lose this. And there it goes.
Tank support is here.
Tried to utilize smoke to cover his advance, but it didn't quite work. Now he's actually going to go in. I don't know if this is going to work either. He does manage to get into close range, but there's now a cloud of smoke here. Ooh, but he's got bazookas on their way to support, and reversing towards Hon3ynuts' base could prove risky as fresh Sherman is on the field, but it's not making its way to support. It's headed towards the south, unfortunately. Where's the AT gun firing from? Oh, nice positioning of the AT gun. Sherman is going to get to safety. Will the Jagdpanzer? He doesn't have any vetted riflemen here to damage his engine, unfortunately. And he just lost a full squad somewhere. I guess he lost that squad down here. I missed that happening. But it looks like the Jagdpanzer will get away, despite being almost dead. Sherman gets away as well. He needs to pay attention to these Volksgrenadiers, though. Oh no. Oh no, please notice. Notice! What is he doing? Get in the tank! Get in the tank! Oh god! Oh no! Oh man! Hon3ynuts, what the fuck are you doing? He had so much time to react to that. Hon3ynuts taking control of the territory in the north with his paratroopers.
Looks like we're going in.
But the loss of that Sherman is game-changing. He was already kind of on the back foot. Things were looking kind of even when he was maybe going to destroy this, but giving away that Sherman is a devastating loss.
We're losing a capture point.
His map control looks pretty good, but I don't know if that situation is going to continue. At least his opponent can't repair this thing as easily as he was able to, since he still hasn't purchased any Sturm Pioneers.
Incoming! Area's ours.
Taking control of the center, and the OKW is pretty much just repairing and reinforcing for now. The next engagement is probably going to be soon, though. That squad gets immediately forced away by suppressing fire, which is only 20 munitions, actually. It's a pretty good ability. 21 munitions, if you can suppress an Ober squad, for example, during an engagement, that can make a huge difference, so very powerful. I don't know why I don't use that ability more. I definitely should. Oh wow, they just crewed that Raketenwerfer. I wonder if that was intentional. That pretty much forced them to retreat immediately. This one squad of paratroopers is easily going to take on just about everything here.
One of our capture points.
Third flak half track, I think. Right? Maybe.
Shot over! Amen. Stand by.
Well, here comes the Sherman.
Hold on here, boys. Pause.
And the Jagdpanzer. The Sherman's honestly not even as big of a threat as the Jagdpanzer is. The Sherman is pretty vulnerable, in fact, to this AT gun.
They're trying to outflank us. Find cover! Find cover! Zero!
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Enemy overrun the flank!
The squad just got wiped. The Sherman is crushing a lot of paratroopers, though. Yet another ambulance gets blasted by that Jagdpanzer.
Vehicle just got destroyed.
Getting taken out over and over again. The Sherman, oh no, that crush.
Point is being
Oh, that was painful. AT gun deals a lot of damage to the Sherman, but it has 11 kills already in its first engagement. God, that loss, that Sherman loss was not something Hon3ynuts could afford. It does manage to damage the Jagdpanzer's engine with a rifle grenade from this rifle squad here. Volksgrenadiers moving up to engage. That Sherman are probably going to kill it if it doesn't get wiped with a miracle shot, which they didn't. Sherman does somehow manage to pull back to safety. This Sherman going in hard on the Jagdpanzer. The AT gun just doesn't quite have a line on it. Grenades going off on the Major's retreat point, inflicting heavy casualties. Both paratrooper squads dangerously low, but the Volksgrenadiers just got completely wiped. The Jagdpanzer has a Sherman behind it with a damaged engine. Oh no, what's gonna happen?
ready for action.
Cover the flank!
Oh, there it goes. Main gun destroyed, and the Jagdpanzer is now Vet 4. This AT gun continues to just flounder. Can't get a shot off here. At the very least, it takes out the stolen Sherman, so that is something. The Jagdpanzer has pulled to safety. A fresh ambulance has been fielded here, but I don't know if he can even reinforce that Major fast enough, and he's going to have to make a full retreat. He may even lose his Vet 2 AT gun. Well, he will certainly lose it, in fact, which
A capture point is under attack.
hurts a lot. He really needs that vetted AT gun to be able to contend with his opponent's vehicles, and there's a Hon3ynuts on the field now, too.
Just came in.
We lost an anti-tank gun.
This paratrooper squad has 35 kills. Obers, by comparison, have only 14. So they're doing quite nicely for themselves.
Our supply line just got cut off.
Contact! Ground infantry! Panzer! Find cover!
A capture point is under attack.
Crew ready! Under fire!
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Grenades going off here, inflicts heavy damage on that paratrooper squad, which will retreat. Bazooka connects with the Hon3ynuts' rear armor.
Losing a
What was
capture
that?
point.
I just died. I just heard a vehicle explode, but I don't know what it was.
Field promotion! They just kicked us up a notch! That's it!
Also, fun fact, if you set up a Major's retreat point in the lake, it turns the entire tactical map orange. So, apparently you can lock down no man's land with your Major.
Orders!
Full rifle squad just got wiped. He's now got only
Some of our
paratroopers.
riflemen.
Sherman forces a retreat from those Volksgrenadiers there.
We're getting chewed up here! Keep low! Keep low! Use cover! Yeah, that wiped them. What the hell? Where's that coming from? Contact!
Hon3ynuts has to retreat away from the Sherman. I think the Sherman could take both of these vehicles, but the Vet 4 Jagdpanzer is available to screen it away. If he decides to commit and simply circle strafe the Jagdpanzer, he could probably finish off both of those things, in fact, maybe, but he didn't. He just disengaged. Disengaging is probably going to honestly cost him the Sherman, and he didn't kill anything, so that was a mistake on Hon3ynuts' part. He should have just dove. At least he could have taken something out with him.
We just lost a medium tank.
Under fire!
Apparently his paratroopers are shooting at this thing. I don't know what they're doing. There's bad guys over there. Good job. Okay. Gets into the green cover, and he should easily win this. Even infiltration grades probably will not win this engagement for him. And there they go. Ostwind has gotten some repairs, making its way back to the front lines. Black half-track also engaging will prompt Hon3ynuts to retreat back to his forward retreat point. He still has, honestly, pretty good, like, really good map control, considering how badly this game kind of seems to be going for him. And I think a large part of that is that he managed to destroy these two structures. Just look at the impact that has. If you destroy those two structures, even if the whole rest of the game goes terribly, you've probably still got a chance.
A capture point is being overrun.
Honestly, this Jagdpanzer is the only thing between Hon3ynuts and victory. But that's a pretty big one thing. Yeah, there's basically no way to destroy it. If you can recover this AT gun, he can push it away, but hunting and killing it is a whole nother matter. He really needs to be in another situation where it has a damaged engine and he has something behind it. That's basically what he needs. But he hasn't even got any veteran riflemen left to damage its engine with, so another alternative is an M20 mine. If you got a late game M20, that would definitely help. And he also has access to the P-47 rocket strike, so he's got room to work with, and he's got good map control. The game is definitely still possible. Mostly because his opponent keeps getting flak half-tracks and Ostwinds and stuff instead of like a King Tiger, in which case Hon3ynuts would really be screwed.
We lost a gun crew.
Rocket strafe coming in on the Ostwind, destroying its engine. There it goes, Sherman finishes it off. That flak half-track doesn't get clear of the strike zone like right now. It's going to go down too. Jagdpanzer moving up to try and take out this Sherman. Unfortunately, the AT gun's been completely destroyed, so it cannot be recovered, and another ambulance is killed. The rocket strike basically completely missed, I think.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
And that Sherman's actually Vet 2, so it's highly mobile now. Rocket strike does a little damage to the Jagdpanzer on that pass, but it's probably going to get shot down if he doesn't kill this flak half-track with something. P-47 is focusing completely on the Jagdpanzer, and both planes just got shot down. Wait, did the flak half-track... Was that a flak half-track right there? Did I just see a flak half-track sinking into the ice? Was that another one? I think so. I guess I'm not really sure what I just saw. That's what it looks like happened, though. Got shot down right on another flak half-track, I think.
They got wiped out.
And another Ostwind has been fielded, but the Sherman has it
Enemies are swarming one of our
caught dangerously out of position. It does manage to wipe that paratrooper squad, sadly. This Jagdpanzer chasing the Sherman all over the map will destroy it. It's now Vet 5, and a shot to its rear armor will damage its engine, and it will be destroyed, bringing Hon3ynuts now to only rear echelon troops and his major. All of his paratrooper squads wiped.
A medium tank.
No hope
Down to 75 points.
of winning this game, as far as I can tell, despite the fact that they only have 71 victory points remaining and are triple capped. But that series of engagements was too much to come back from, I think, honestly. Especially since this is also still alive.
Airborne on the ground.
That helps.
Press your attack. A
Free
capture
squad
point
wipe.
is under attack.
Has to retreat though. And the clock is going too slow for that to really matter, especially with this happening here in the north. Hon3ynuts has 126 fuel. Next Sherman will be getting here soon, but with a Vet 5 Jagdpanzer on the field, it's just not enough. He basically had to kill this well before it hit Vet 5. Now this Vet 5 is going to be essentially unkillable and able to take on unlimited numbers of Shermans, as it already has. How many has it killed? It has 10 vehicles destroyed. Good God, so many ambulances. So many ambulances and Shermans lost to that Jagdpanzer. It's painful.
We're losing a capture point.
Incoming Panzerschreck!
Desperately trying to hold the line with the rear echelon troop squad. They do have an M1919. They were close, but that last Volksgrenadier manages to get the point under control. It's not even that urgent to get that victory point. He's got the other two. So overall, I'd say CookiezNcreem has this one.
Point is being overrun.
By the look of things. It's almost in Hon3ynuts' interest. Well, actually, never mind.
Our supply line is cut. Germans are making a push. Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
I was gonna say it's almost in his interest to get a Jackson, but it's not. Honestly, at this point, a Jackson stands no chance against this thing. A Sherman is probably the better call. He needs the HE shells to just kill his opponent's infantry and try and defend victory points. Maybe if he can mass 3 of them, he can try and swarm this, but I don't really see how that's going to happen. To be honest, I really think the best thing he can do at this stage of the game is make an M20. I think he needs an M20 mine. That's the only reliable way to kill that Jagdpanzer at this point. And by reliable, I mean like not reliable. If he hits it, it's reliable. But he might not hit it. Basically, what you need to do at this point is make a Sherman with which to draw your opponent's Jagdpanzer across the map. Then go plant an M20 mine somewhere else. What you really need not to do is sit AFK with your Sherman in front of a 5 Jagdpanzer and then lose it for no reason, which is what appears to be happening right now. There's a stolen Raketmorpher right here, though. That could help things. Sherman's about to commit suicide. There it goes. And the flak half-track is going to continue to hold the center. Raketmorpher making its way here to push it away. That paratrooper squad takes a lot of damage and losses. The flak half-track is also extremely high vet now. A vet 4 flak half-track and a vet 5 Jagdpanzer can pretty much take on whole armies by themselves. Barely even need infantry support at this point. And yeah, how many ambulances has Hon3ynuts made in this game? Is there a way for me to see that? Probably. Let's see, units.
Promotion's in! We're taking fire!
Where is the ambulance? I don't see it anywhere. Oh, it's not. 5. He has made 5 ambulances. That is 1,250 manpower spent on ambulances. That is so much. Oh, hero rear echelon! Oh, it wasn't enough! Oh no! I really thought that was gonna take it out.
Stand by orders!
Getting shot by M1919s, but it looks like that's gonna get away. And a fresh battle group headquarters is being built. It's kind of a risky move. Well, it was a risky move, but somehow managed to complete, despite that M1919 squad being there that entire time. Maybe he just didn't see it, I don't know. Well, there goes that ambulance.
Just got destroyed.
12 vehicles destroyed by this Jagdpanzer.
Beat out of us. We got 75 points remaining.
Good God. Somehow, Hon3ynuts has taken control of this victory point, and he's about to take control of the north, which means the points are going to tick against his opponent.
They're trying to outflank us. Contact! Infantry!
Oh no!
They're hitting our flank!
No!
We just lost a unit.
Oh, another paratrooper squad down.
Contact! Enemy infantry!
Although I think he might wipe this, yeah. Wasn't paying attention to that squad. Raketmorpher gets wiped by infiltration grenades, maybe? Almost. Probably finish it off with small arms fire. Nope, they will be forced to retreat as well. Meanwhile, here in the north, the rear echelons have actually taken control of those victory points, and they are taking against OKW. Jaegers have been deployed to try and get that point under control. Meanwhile, here in the center, paratroopers are trying to delay this capture by these Volksgrenadiers. Is the game over? No. Infiltration grenades did not get dodged, though. Which means that squad will go down, and then a bazooka snipes 2 Volksgrenadiers, and then a Panzerschreck snipes all of the remaining rear echelons. So, okay, this squad is going to retreat here in the north, and Hon3ynuts knows that he now really has no way to hold the VPs, and GG is being exchanged. Hon3ynuts will surrender. So, wow. Wow indeed. I agree, Cookies and Cream. That was a hell of a game. I honestly think Hon3ynuts executed quite nicely here initially, but he lost so many tanks to this Jagdpanzer. I think that Cookies and Cream's build order was honestly terrible. It was just so bad. I can't believe he made so many flak half-tracks, but apparently, after making enough of them, one of them is bound to vet up. So, that was... I don't know. I have no good post-game comments. GG. Axis wins.